What if you could start stacking up some crypto without actually spending any of your own money? Today, we're jumping headfirst into that world, looking at how you can earn free crypto in your spare time, all centered around one platform, FaucetPay.
Take a look at this. It's a quote from an actual user. Now, that amount in Brazilian reais translates to a few hundred US dollars, earned, they claim, with zero initial investment. That's a pretty bold statement, right? And it definitely makes you wonder what's really possible here.
Okay, but let's be real for a second. Is this a genuine way to build up a crypto portfolio, or is it just a massive time sink for digital pennies? That's the real question we're going to dig into today, the big promise versus the day-to-day reality.
All right, so to really get what FaucetPay is all about, you've got to first understand the idea it was built for, something called a crypto faucet. This is ground zero for the whole free crypto idea.
A crypto faucet is kind of like a leaky tap, but instead of water, it's dripping out tiny, tiny fractions of cryptocurrency. And this idea isn't new. Way back in 2010, the very first Bitcoin faucet gave away 5 whole Bitcoin to each user just to get the word out. Can you even imagine that today? 5 Bitcoin? That's just, wow.
But here's the catch, and it's a big one. As crypto got more popular, the fees to send it shot way up. And all of a sudden, collecting those tiny drips, people call it crypto dust, just didn't make sense anymore. The fee to move it to your own wallet would literally cost more than the crypto you'd earned.
And that is the exact problem FaucetPay was designed to solve. It's built to be both a wallet and a place to earn, all in one.
The best way to think about FaucetPay is like a digital coin jar for all your crypto dust. Instead of paying a network fee for every single tiny payment from all these different websites, you just have them send it to your FaucetPay account. It's all internal, so there are no fees. You let all those tiny drips collect into a bigger amount, and only then do you move it to your main wallet. It's what makes the whole faucet thing work again. Okay, so how do you actually start filling up that coin jar? Well, there are basically 5 main ways to do it on FaucetPay. We're going to go through every single one, from the super simple to the a bit more involved.
All right, path number 1. This is the classic, the most common way to get started, using the faucet directory. The real strategy here is to create what's called a claim rotation. You don't just use one site. You find maybe 10 or 15 good ones from their list of over 600, and you just cycle through them. Pro tip, always check that little health bar. If it's full, it means the faucet has the money to pay you out right away.
Next up, we have offer walls and paid-to-click ads. And this is where the earning can really start to pick up if you're willing to put in a bit more effort. PTC ads are easy. You just watch an ad for a few seconds and get a few sats. Offer walls, though, that's where you do surveys, download apps, stuff like that. They can pay out way more, from cents to even a few dollars. But be warned, the big catch with surveys is getting disqualified halfway through, which can be super frustrating.
Okay, now we're getting into some seriously risky territory. FaucetPay has a bunch of games, but let's be absolutely crystal clear here. This is gambling. Plain and simple. Every single game has what's called a house edge, which is just a fancy way of saying the math is set up so the platform always wins over time. This is not an earning strategy, it's a way to lose what you've earned.
Now, to be fair, they do use something called provably fair technology. It's a cool crypto thing that lets you check for yourself that the game wasn't rigged against you. It adds transparency, which is great. But don't let that fool you. It doesn't get rid of the house edge. The odds are still stacked against you, and you can, and probably will, lose your crypto.
Path number 4 is a pretty interesting one. It's a way to earn passively through staking FaucetPay's own token, which is called Fiora, or FEY. When you stake Fei, you're basically getting a tiny slice of the platform's profits. A part of all the money wagered in those games we just talked about gets paid out to the people staking. So you're benefiting from the house edge without actually having to gamble yourself.
And finally, we have path number 5, which honestly might be the most powerful way to earn on the platform, the affiliate program. You get a commission for life on everything people you refer do. But here's the crazy part. Look at the games. You earn a percentage of the total amount they wager. It doesn't matter if they win or lose. A single active referral who likes to play the games can end up earning you a surprising amount of passive income.
So there you have it, the 5 ways to earn. But now it's time for a major reality check. How much time does this stuff really take? And what are the risks they don't always talk about?
This quote right here just nails it perfectly. Faucets are an amazing starting point, a great way to learn the ropes of how crypto transactions and wallets work without risking any of your own cash. but it is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Not even close.
And you know, the secret sauce here really is consistency, not how hard you go. The veterans of these platforms all say the same thing. Spending 15 to 20 minutes every day is way more effective than grinding for hours just once a week. It's about building that small, consistent habit.
Okay, let's talk risks. And I really need you to listen closely to this part. This is important. We don't really know who's behind the company. In their own legal terms, FaucetPay says they're not responsible if you get scammed by one of the third-party sites in their directory. There's no insurance on your funds, no public proof they actually hold all the crypto. Basically, you're trusting them completely.
So with all those risks in mind, you have to protect your account. This stuff is not optional. First, turn on two-factor authentication immediately. Second, use their address whitelisting feature. It adds a time lock for withdrawals to new addresses, which can save you from a hack. Third, create a separate burner email just for faucet sites. And the golden rule: a real faucet will never, ever ask you to send them money. Ever.
All right, so we've looked at the good, the bad, and the ugly. The big question left is it actually worth your time? That's a calculation only you can make.
And if you do decide to give it a go, you've got to be smart about how you cash out. Don't just throw your earnings away on fees. The smart move is this. First, swap all the different little bits of crypto you've earned into one single coin, one with low fees. Then, when you withdraw, always pick the slower, normal option. It's way, way cheaper.
And look, this right here shows you exactly why that matters so much. If you try to withdraw 10 bucks of Bitcoin, the fee could easily be $1 or more. But if you swap that to something like Litecoin first, the fee could be less than a penny. That's a huge difference. It's the key to actually keeping what you've earned. So when you boil it all down, who is FaucetPay actually for? Who's going to get the most out of this? It's for the absolute beginner who wants to learn hands-on. It's for the patient person who wants to slowly, over a long time, build a tiny portfolio. It's a huge deal for people in countries where it's hard to buy crypto. And it's a lifesaver for anyone doing online microtasks who needs to get paid instantly in crypto.
And that really brings us back to the big question we started with. Is something like FaucetPay a true gateway to this new digital economy, giving people a foot in the door? Or is it just a new version of the old grind, doing digital piecework for digital pennies? The answer, I think, really comes down to how much you value your time versus getting a risk-free ticket to the crypto world.